Hey now, so let me ask you a trivia question, and you're going to know the answer if you've been following along. But who has the highest single season average ever in Major League Baseball history? You said Hugh Duffy's 440 in 1894. Give yourself a prize. Hugh Duffy, probably one of those forgotten 19th century baseball. I don't say legends, but definitely a star. He was the greatest hitter in baseball from the period of like 1890 to 1900. When he retired, he had over 100 home runs, which was a lot back then. I mean, it wasn't Roger Connor level. He may have been like probably 2 or 3 at the time of his retirement, because the home run wasn't that popular. It wasn't cool back then as much as a hit. So he was a great player, a great fielder. He was around baseball his entire career. A matter of fact, in excuse me, when Ted Williams was going after his 400 season, Hugh Duffy helped coach him mentally how to stay in the zone to get that 400. So it's just like they hit a bonding because they both loved hitting, even though they were different ages. So in terms of autographs, not nearly as rare as this heavily twin, as they called him, Tommy McCarthy. We'll get to that another day. But not really rare. He was around baseball his entire career. I think he got in the Hall of Fame in the 40s. And he passed away in 1945, passed away in 1954. He was always around the Red Sox organization, and because of that, he wasn't terribly difficult to locate. If you mailed it back to the Red Sox around that time, you always got it back. And around that time, by then, he was very common that he would write back Red Sox coach. He was very proud of his tenure with the Red Sox. Matter of fact, when he passed away, he reported to spring training that year as 86-year-old to go to spring training. And unfortunately, he got sick. His wife passed away, then he passed away. So let's talk about the autograph analysis without any further ado of Hugh Duffy. So again, I like to start with the PSA autograph database. Now, I'm going to start with this one first, because if you read Ron's books, he doesn't like this autograph, and I can understand why. And again, we'll talk about it a little bit later, but I mean, let's just start off with this. I would avoid any autograph of Hugh Duffy signed at the bottom of a plaque postcard. It's a very rare postcard. He only had 9 years to sign it, maybe even a little bit less than that. So we'll come back to it, but just in general, I would just warn you to stay away from anything signed at the bottom. When I'm looking for a Hugh Duffy autograph, what I'm looking for is sloppiness. Now, it wasn't always sloppy, but 9 times out of 10 it was. Again, his signature was all over the place depending on what era he signed in. But towards later in his life, again, what you're looking for is like the G looks almost like a figure 8, if you can see that, and that should be connected to the H. The D should hook up like this. And again, the D and the U should not be connected. Again, we're looking for a lot of bounce. We're not looking for a very level autograph at all. Again, he wasn't a young man at all when he signed these. Usually there's a couple single sign baseballs in the market. This is one of them. There's another one we're going to show as well. Both of these are side panel. Again, now this is a contract. I don't know what year the contract was. And even when he had like a line, you could see the sign on, it bounced all over the place. Look, the H falls, the U goes up. You can still see that figure 8 here. This is probably an earlier contract of his. It got more, let's say, sloppy as it went on. And then you can see, like, he just couldn't, what's it called? He couldn't stay on the line, for lack of a better term. Again, something else you want to look for is the D usually should be open right here. You can see the space right here is open. That's something to always look for. Now, there was a period around 10 years from around 1910. He had a nice autograph. You can see it right here. You can still see that figure 8. And it's pretty, even though it's not on a nice straight line, it's pretty flat. This is probably one of the nicest autographs you're going to see. I don't know when it was signed, but my guess was around 1910 or so. We'll talk about this a little bit later. We can't really see this one either. But again, here's a beautiful autograph. My guess was signed right around 1910 when he had that nice. And again, usually you want to see the open D later in life. This is, again, very different. And again, I don't know why, but around this period, he had a gorgeous autograph that just went to slop before and after. Again, this nice letter right here. Like the letters that came out are really nice. And you look at this, go back to this one right here. This slants almost a little bit straight up into the left. Now, I guess later in life, again, we're going back way to the right and bouncing. This is sort of what you want to see. I mean, let's say it's a letter. You can see this is 1949. I don't want to see those H's lined up. I want to see how it's sort of falling down the autograph right here. That's what I want to see. So what I did was here, if I go into, let's close out of this. This is the autograph I had right now. This was signed as a coach. It was signed in 1952 towards the end of his life. And like I said, towards the end of his life, his autograph actually got a little bit nicer. I don't know why. But again, I would like to see the H dip down right here. You see how it's not level. You can see there's a lot of bounciness. You can still see that figure 8 right here attached to the there's a break right here with the D. We have the open D, the break between right here. The Fs are nice. And again, he has the Red Sox coach, which he was really proud of at the end of his career. So you're going to see a lot of government postcards signed like that. This is actually the second Hugh Duffy I owned. This is the one I own currently. Previous to that, I owned this one. Unfortunately, it's to the side. This is a 1960. It wasn't when I bought it. It was a government postcard. I'm sorry, I can't flip it over. This is one of the first government postcards of any baseball Hall of Famer. And the reason that is it was not sent out with the request of getting an autograph back. It was a little letter on a postcard. I zoomed in on the autograph. To be honest, it was very impaired. It was very light. It was signed in, as you can see here, 1960. But even if you turn your head, you can see right here, there is a break between the D and the U. The Y falls down, so on and so forth. So again, if we go to this is a couple interesting things right here. This is a heritage. Now, this is interesting right here. This baseball and this baseball, 99% sure are the same baseball. Now, you can see this was sold in 2013. This was sold in 2017. I don't know what happened between the two. I want to leave them off so you can see. You could see, though, the fact that the D, where the ink comes in, the ink is stronger certain places than others. It's too perfect for them not to be the same baseball. I don't know what happened. I don't know if chemicals were used and they wore off, but you can see right here, the baseball actually increased in value in 4 years, even though the autograph got worse. And right here, you can see these are expensive, these government postcards. They're not cheap. Right here is again, you can see this right here. This was sold way back in 2006. I like the fact, though, it was signed at top here. I like the fact that the Y dips down. Nothing is consistent. You can see they're on two different level planes. Open D. That's what I want to see. Now, if we go back, we have this one as well, sold in 2010. Again, this is marked authentic. But like it just looks different. I don't know. I can't put my finger on it exactly, but I don't like the way it's like almost too perfect down here. And the D looks like it's connected to the U, which is what you don't want to see. Now, again, this is really JSA, even though it's in a Beckett holder. Things were a lot different back then. So again, I think all the autographs that are signed at the bottom of a plaque, I am just very wary of, and I would stay away. So again, last but not least, I just went on eBay and pulled some more off. You can see the Red Sox coaches. You can see, like, again, the figure 8's what I like to see here. You can see they're not open playing fields. You can see, like, the different ones. So if you go to eBay, they're out there. I think they're a little high, obviously, what they want for government postcards right now. I don't think any of these are bad. I looked at them previously to this. But again, you're going to pay. They want like $1,000 for them, which I think is very, very high. So that's about it with Hugh Duffy. He should be in your collection. He's a very important person at the turn of the century. You read his plaque, it's like only like 4 lines. Very different than ours. So almost done with the D's. Phew. We're going to go to Leo DeRocher, the very last of the D's in the next one. Maybe shoot it today, maybe not. But if I don't, as always, enter the contest, hit the like button, and as always, keep collecting.